again. Thank you so much for your patience. I promise this is not the norm. You can expect a little more professionalism from us from here on out. So go ahead and just mute yourself if you're just hopping on, and we are going to just get rolling. Okay. I'm going to first apologize because I also might have leaves all over. I was outside doing yard work about 2 minutes ago. I mean, like 2 minutes before we started. So I am looking a little rough. Okay, so my name is Brittany Duncan. I am super excited to be here with you tonight. I have been with Zaya for about 4 years, pretty much from the get-go. I am a double Zaya executive currently, and I have a background in nursing. I have been a nurse for over 10 years. I was able to step away about 1.5 years into Zaya. From that, I have a ICU and nuclear medicine is where I was at, if I have any nurses in here. And obviously in the last year, I'm really grateful that I was able to step away from that because I know it has been a rough go for a lot of people. So you guys are coming in at the perfect time. I know when we first started, there was literally a time when we had, I think at like one point, there was one sports bra to sell and it sucked. Like it wasn't even a good sports bra. And so we had a lot of hurdles that we had to deal with at the beginning that quite honestly, there were many times we were like, okay, are we going to make it through this? Like we're an activewear company and we don't have anything to sell. That's great. But this past year, I'm sure if you guys have been watching for a little bit, purchasing anything, we've had massive growth in this crazy way. And it's only going to get bigger. The activewear industry, I can't remember how many like billions of dollars it's supposed to do, but I know that literally everybody I know wears activewear. Like it's just a part of life now. It's something that we do. And so the awesome thing is, instead of, just supporting these huge corporations, people can support like small families, right? And it can be a family business and we're able to, have our own businesses because of that. So you guys are coming in at a really awesome time, a time where even Zaya like itself as a company it's fun. We have a rhythm now. We have resources. Like these are all things that have come about in the past couple of years and have been awesome. So we are super excited that you guys are here. All right. Enough about me. So Zaya, in case you did not know, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. It was founded by 2 women who are mothers. And I love that so much because not that, males in a boardroom don't know anything because they're very smart. I love that the decisions that are made on our behalf are from moms that have young kids right now. That they're working moms and they totally understand like, okay, this is what it's like to be a mom, and you see that in the different structures that they have. And so it's really a beautiful thing that decisions on our behalf are always they have our best interests at heart. And I'm sure you've heard the moonlit hike story, so I'm not going to get into that. Sounded on. Oh, hold on. Somebody's not muted. Sorry, guys. If you're not muted, mute yourself, please. So I don't have to hear myself repeating because that's the worst. Okay, so Zaya is founded on 4 pillars, and those are community, light, activity, and uplift. And if you know our founders at all or have heard about them, they truly encompass all of these things. And so as a whole, that trickles down to us. And we are all about community, activity, uplifting, and light. Like those are truly things that we stand behind and our company is actually founded on. It's not just 4 nice words that we say like, oh, we like to do this. Like truly we do this. And it's awesome. And you're going to see that throughout time. We support Kenya Keys quite often. The founder, that's one of her favorite things to support. And many others. I mean, there have probably been 6 over the past couple of years, but they're constantly giving back. And that's something that I absolutely love about our company. Okay, so the first thing that I love doing these calls because I remember what it feels like to be new and to just have that enthusiasm. And I wish that I could like bottle it up from you and take it back for myself. You'll never get back the enthusiasm you feel right now. And so I want to tell you guys, run with it. Run with that enthusiasm while you are feeling it. It's an exciting time. People feel that from you and they want to come along for the ride. So my advice to you as you're going through this phase is just jump. Just do it, okay? After we go through all these other things and you're learning all of these different, just pieces to the puzzle of running your business, I want you to just jump. Like literally, that's what I want you to do. And just remember that, like just jump without fear of, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this perfectly. My pictures aren't as good as hers. No way. You put your blinders on and you just do you. And I promise you, you will get better, right? All of our videos at first sucked. All of my pictures at first sucked. Like I remember posting selfies that didn't even include my head. I mean, that's how bad I was. Like I had no clue, like, oh, people want to see my face too. So it is fine. And I promise you, like those tiny little things do not matter, but they're really easy to get hung up on. It's really easy to come in and be like, well, I'm going to talk to people about the business when I know more. You know what? That day never comes. I still don't feel like I talk perfectly about the business 4 years later. And if I would have waited 4 years, I wouldn't have a team of 5,000 people. Our team wouldn't be doing millions a month. So there is no perfect time. Just go for it. Okay. Just go for it. So if you, obviously there's quite a few of you and I'm not exactly sure where you're at in your business. So I'm just going to talk to like you signed up today. Okay. And we're just going to kind of go through the first couple things and you can just mentally check them off your list. Or if you haven't done them, now you'll know exactly what to do. So the first thing, if you have not announced on social media that you have partnered with Zaya, that's going to be your thing. And there is no perfect script. There is no perfect way to say it. It needs to be in your own words. I want you to include a picture, if not a video of you talking about it. A video would get you like A++ if I was your teacher. People, your friends, right? We're talking to your friends and family right now. They want to see you. They already know you. They love you. They trust you. They want to see you. So if you get on to do a video like, hey, I'm super excited. I just partnered with this company. Here's my favorite jacket right now, whatever it is. And just know you're going to fumble through it. Your words are going to come out a little like, what? It's okay. It's totally fine. But you have to at least include a picture and just talk about like, you can even briefly talk about why you did it. Now, I don't want you to write a novel. Nobody has time to, sometimes you'll see those posts that you're like, whoo, I don't have time for that right now. So you'll just scroll on by. You're going to do a quick like, hey guys, I'm so excited. I partnered with Zaya because I love the light and tights. Like that's my story. So that's what I talk about. I love the light and tights. They stay put on my runs. I never have to touch them all day long. I can go from workout to, dinner time and shoving toys in my pockets. And I don't have to worry about them budging. They are my absolute favorite. And I think every single person needs one. That would be my post for today. So jump in with your social media. So then after we post, we're going to show up every single day. Okay. So if you have not had your launch event yet, you're going to be setting that up. But in the meantime, you're going to be posting on your social media regularly. And I know this I was not like a regular social media poster. I'd post like, I don't know, once a month or something, just kids and whatnot. So to get into the habit of this, it's really important. So I set a timer on my phone. Like that's at first or I'd have it on my to-do list, like, post to social media. I no longer have to do that 4 years later. I just know it's a part of my life. And, it's a normal, natural thing for me. This is how you're telling people, hey, my business is open. I'm open for business every single day. If we're only posting once every 3 weeks, like, do you go to businesses that are only open once every 3 weeks? No, because you don't know their hours. Like I have a favorite food truck that's no longer my favorite because I never know where they are and they're open randomly. And it's like open 8 to 10 a.m. on Friday. And, we don't want to be that. We want to be consistent. We want to show up regularly. So just start to get yourself into the habit of, this is part of your job. You post. That's just letting people know you're open for business. I just totally lost my train of thought. 1 second. Let me look at my notes. Okay. Last thing on that, just jumping in, don't ever feel like there's a right or wrong way to do it. You could look at my Instagram and be like, okay, so I need to be posting about this, this, and this. No, that's my way to do it. So there is no wrong way, there's better ways. And as you come, as you dig deeper into the business and you're here longer, you learn all those little tips and tricks. You don't need to know that right now. So just commit to showing up every single day on social media with your business. If you have not had your launch party, I want you to get off this call when we're done and I want you to commit to a date right now. And you can message your sponsor and say like, okay, here's my launch dates. This is exactly what I'm going to do. After your launch event, you're going to turn that group into your like VIP type group. You can call it whatever you want, but that's the group, what it's going to be. Those are going to be the people that are interested in Zaya, that want to see all your stuff that you're going to show up for regularly. These are the people that like, they want it, right? They want to be sold to. It's like when I signed up for Athleta's, email newsletter, like I want to be sold to. Like that's what I'm signing up for. Show me all the new stuff. I want to see it. Sell me. Okay. So those are your people. That's what we will cultivate and give them the best experience that we can. Right. And you're not all Zaya. So don't feel like you have to show up every single day as Zaya. Like that is not the case. You're going to show up just as you. Like I love family dinner. That's something I'm really big on. So if you follow me on Instagram, you're going to see I talk about dinner a lot. I do time management. I'm a homeschool mom right now. And so trying to fit Zaya into all of these pieces. And this, I'll let you guys know. I built my business on 2 hours or less a day. I built it at 5:30 a.m. That was usually, I'd wake up super early and get going from there. But this, to be successful, you do not have to do 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day. Like, no, that beauty of our non-traditional business is that we can build in way smaller amounts of time and be just as successful as traditional businesses. So that's something that I love, absolutely love. My husband and I were self-employed, so we have a traditional business. So I'm able to see like both of those pieces. Okay. So as far as if you've had your launch event, it is time now to find someone else to be your host. So you can start just getting into that habit of having events regularly. So the reason that we do this, I know I just onboarded a new rep and she's like, I don't want to do parties. I'm like, that is totally fine, but you have to understand parties are like the lifeblood of our business. They enable you to get into networks you would never otherwise have access to. So, you're meeting a crowd of 20 new women once a week, every party that you're in, that you normally would not, you're not just like standing in front of Target, like, hey, look at my leggings, like you have 20 people that are interested, that want to see your product. And so it really propels your business. So I encourage you, if you have some thoughts about parties, like, oh, I don't know if I want to host them, I am just telling you the quickest way to build a big business is to host these events. It's just what you do. When I first started, we did not even know how to utilize online parties. So we only did in person. And can I just tell you how thankful I am that we figured out how to host online events? Because in person, as fun as it is, I have 4 little kids, 10 and under. And so to be like packing up and worrying about where, can the kids come? Is that too much? Blah, blah, blah. So much better to be able to do online events. I also did in-person pop-ups at gyms and different little like craft shows and things like that until I found my groove and found my people and got my customer base. Now I'm pretty much exclusively online, which I imagine for the past year and a half, most people have been as well. But parties truly are like the lifeblood of our business because we're getting new eyes all the time. So now when I go into a party, one of like my main things that I want, obviously I want to get the hostess their rewards. I also want to get a party from that party, meaning I want someone from there to book. So I talk about like how awesome it is to get free clothes throughout the entire event. Because then that one party turns into another one, turns into another one. I know Sarah at one point, I think she said she like had this party going and it was back in the East Coast, maybe New York. Anyway, it was like a 7-month thing that she continuously had parties for like 7 months from one party. That is the best. Like that is the best way to host an event, is to just make sure you have those parties coming consistently. That's a really important piece. If you are still a stickler on like the no party gig, you can talk to me privately, because I went through a phase of that and I can tell you how hard it was to grow my business without that. So we can discuss that privately. If you really have some thoughts about it, let's talk after. We'll do a Q&A and you can ask questions about that. But truly just come into this knowing like a party it builds a solid foundation for your business. To get parties, we can't just post on social media. And you've probably heard this before. Like I can throw a post out to social media, and on Instagram, I have thousands of followers. I usually don't get anyone responding like, hey, I want to host an event. It takes personal messaging. And with people that I have a connection with already, that I'm like, hey, and wording matters, right? If I'm like, hey, Allison, will you host a party for me? Like that's not the right way to word it. The right way would be like, can I host an event for you and help you earn free clothes? I know you want those light and tights and that all-star bra. Can I help you earn them for free? Right? We're doing them a favor. So always thinking about what's in it for them. Okay. It's not about you. It's about them. What's in it for them? Do you have someone that really wants to sign up, but it's a really big financial burden right now? Hey, we could host an event, and then, you can get your kit for this discounted price, or sign up And our team goal is to help you earn back your kit investment in 30 days. Like, so we're thinking about them all the time. How can we help them be their best self and like have the best experience within Zaya, have the most success, whether that's earning free clothes, whether that's coming in as a rep. We want them to have the best experience here. Customers too, right? Those are included. But parties, we have event outlines for you. So if you are feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, that's okay. My first live, you guys also, we didn't know, my first live was an hour. Like, who would watch that? I would never watch an hour live, but we just didn't know. And then I realized like, oh, hey, nobody ever wants to watch that. So don't ever do it again. Now I keep it short and sweet. With kids, I'm in and out in 5 minutes. That is like my tops. And I show up like this with dirt in my hair and leaves in my hair. And, because most of the time my audience is you, like, or me. It's a mom with kids who totally gets it. They're like, oh yeah, this is just life. And I think so often with video, we're able to be a little more like real, right? We can have beautiful pictures that are very curated, but the video for me that's what sells. After my lives, I'll usually have a couple orders flush in of like, oh yeah, the shorts I was wearing, yep, 3 orders of those. It's just how it works. So I do not show everything, never ever show everything. We have way too much. Narrow it down, right? I don't want someone to come up to me and be like, here's 600 items, pick one. No, I want you to show me like your top 2 in every category. And then from there, I'll choose. Or if I have something specific, hey, I'm looking for the best leggings for hot yoga, or whatever. If they come to me with specifics, then we answer that. But with parties, have fun, keep it light, keep it fun. Like, I always just try to think, what would I want to do? I personally am not like a game person. So if you come to my events, you're not going to get games. Like, it's just not me. But I know so many girls on my team love games and they do awesome in their parties. Whatever you love, it really comes out. Really, we all have this sixth sense and we can tell if someone's like BSing us or truly like loving something. If you do not love a product, don't promote it. That is okay. Like, there's been lots of things in Zaya. I'm like, nope, that is not for me at all. But that's the awesome thing. We have so many other things. Promote what you actually genuinely love. Okay. That's important. As far as the resources, so we do have a Facebook group that has an outline. Like, you can go in and it'll look exactly like, it should. I lost my wording there. It'll look exactly like it can for your party. So it's just a template that you can pull from. If you feel like, oh my gosh, that's way too many posts, that's okay. Like, pare it down, just take what you need, but it gives you an idea of what an event can look like. Now, I encourage you to use ScentShare. That's something that we just came about in, like, I'd say in the past 6 months, we learned about, or scheduling on Facebook. What I don't want you guys to do is be having to like put posts in 7 times a day. So just know you can sit down the night before and put in 6 posts for the next day, or 4 posts, or whatever you choose to do. And that way, the only time you're truly hopping in their live is to do your live. Of course, I know what time my posts go out, so I hop in and just make sure there's no questions, respond to comments. I'm sure you guys have all heard about, Facebook likes activity. They want, so if someone's like commenting and they see other people commenting, if you can keep the commenting in and out, like, Facebook likes that and they'll bump it to the top. And the more eyes that see your stuff, the more sales you get. So that's just always kind of like the rule of thumb. If I know a post is going out at 8 o'clock, I'll try to hop in at like 8:10 and just see if I have any comments yet, and, comment back, respond to people, just be social. Like, it's a social platform, and they encourage and reward you for being social on these platforms. But I really recommend looking into ScentShare, or at least scheduling out your posts so you're not a slave to, your parties throughout the day. I do have a couple people that still post real time. If that works for you, awesome. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay too. There are other tools that you can utilize to do that. So the next resource we have for you guys, we have a very simple, and we probably do need to beef it up a little bit, but just to show you like what a VIP page could look like. Like, so in that, I mean, we're showing you like a post, like, I'm going to go talk about dinner real quick. I'm going to talk in my VIP group, like, hey, super quick meal. When we have no time, I usually fix this. And then I usually do 2 posts a day The next post, is going to be about Zaya. And so that's going to be the same post I put on my Instagram. Like, so you're using the same picture, utilizing the same stuff. But remember, this is the group we want to cultivate, because this is the group that they want to be here. They want to be sold to. And so just like you're not all Zaya, like they don't want to see all Zaya. They want to see Becky for Becky and Michelle for Michelle, right? Like they still want to see you. So we have just a template where you can kind of just get a few quick ideas of like, okay, so this is kind of what it looks like. And we base that off of people that have really successful VIP groups. I have a friend that she told me she sells about $3,000 a month just from her VIP group. So that's without hosting any events, like $3,000. That's amazing. So that is kind of what our goal is with these groups, is to really just have that type of group. And so these templates come from when people have a lot of success with it. We're like, okay, like let's come in, see what they're doing, and then go from there. The other resource we have, if you guys have not seen it, we do have a Facebook or a new rep outline. Hopefully you've seen it. It's a Wix document that's just a clickable, and it's kind of like a checklist. I am such a checklist person. Like, just tell me exactly what to do and like, let me check it off on my own time. That's just how I function best. And this is really just a quick rundown of everything that needs to get done. Starting with like how to change your name on your website. So it says, Brittany and not 1092468. Like nobody's gonna remember that. So just the basic stuff to get your business started. And then what else? We had one more thing. Oh, if your sponsor has a team page, I would encourage you to join it and just see. I know a lot of times, like some people say like, oh, there's so many. I encourage my new reps, like go in there and see which ones you feel like are valuable, ones that are offering you things. So talk to your sponsor about that. That's a discussion for you and your sponsor to discuss and kind of go through which places you need to be. If you're not following Zaya Family on Instagram, that is where they post all of the Wednesday releases. Brenda will try them on and give us like sizing guides and different things. Make sure you're following Zaya Family. And then of course, they're not really on Facebook a whole lot. I mean, Zaya's not. Like they really don't do a whole lot on Facebook, so I wouldn't worry about doing much there. I mean, follow them, like them, but you're not going to see much action there. It's usually the Instagram, their Zaya Family Instagram is where you'll see everything first. That's like, which I like. It's quick and easy access. You can go on and quickly check, and I think they utilize stories well in there. Okay, so we just have some tips for success. The first thing is wear the clothes. Like that's super easy. People love, like our models are so cute and we do a good job at getting, different shapes and sizes. But ultimately, like my people don't want to see, her. They want to see me in it. They want to see like, hey, Brittany, who's nursed 4 kids and, had 4 pregnancies. They want to see like my body in it to show like, okay, this is what it looks like, not with our little cute, like, girls that haven't had pregnancies or whatever. And that's because my people relate to me. Like most of them are moms in my same shoes. So whether or not you feel like, oh, she looks better in it, no, you put it on. They want to see you in it. I promise you. Like those models, I feel like, oh, they always look so much cuter in these, but I do not sell until I put it on. Like I can post the model picture. I sell so much more when I get on my Instagram, and that's where I'm at, is Instagram. When I get on my Instagram and do a review, that's when I sell clothes. So wear the clothes. Always have a party link open. You will get to this point, if you're not already, where you get returning customers. And I have these customers that they'll just go place their own order. They don't talk to me anymore about it. They kind of know their size and what they want. And they know, oh, she'll always have a party open. And so you can, they can order under that party, and then you get to utilize those host credits. And you can use them as gifts for people, as giveaways, or you can use them to buy more clothes. So always have a party open. Like mine literally probably just says like Brittany's customers April event. Like nothing, it's not fancy or cute. It's just literally generic, but make sure you always have one of those open, because those do build up. Just think if you got one order a month, in 3 months time, you'd probably have enough to earn host rewards on it. So always have that open. So the next thing is that I always encourage my team to do is to order as a customer, not a rep. And I'm going to tell you why. So with the rep, we get a 25% discount, which is awesome. But if you order as a customer full price, you have the opportunity to earn 28% back in commissions. So you're earning like a 3% overage on the commissions, as well as you will be able to put those orders under those parties we just talked about and earn host rewards. So then you're getting free clothes, half off clothes, because you can be the hosts of as many parties as you want. There's no rule against that. Reps can host. So I always encourage my reps, hey, just order full price as customer, because then you're going to get the 28% commission, and you're going to get, if you order as a rep, you can't put it in a party. So it's not going to go towards these free and discounted clothes. So that's something. And if that's confusing to you, we can talk about it later, but I would just always encourage you to order as a customer and not a rep. All right, let's see here. All right, so one thing that might be a little bit different that we're going to encourage is personal development. We're going to encourage that like 15 minutes a day. I was not big into personal development before this, and now I love it. Like I can't get enough of it. So I just encourage 15 minutes a day, whether that's podcasts or books or however you're going to get that. I did write down a couple of my favorites. So books, I really like Get Over Your Damn Self. That's a fun one, especially if you have like new readers and they're like trying to sound out the cover out of their sweet little 5-year-old mouths. And you're like, no, don't say that. But that is a really good book. It was from a woman, I think she was in Rodan and Fields. And it's really just talking about, like just, getting over yourself and stop thinking about yourself and, getting kind of in your own head. It's so easy to do that. And I still 4 years. That's a really great like book for that. The Slight Edge is another good one. The Compound Effect, and For Your Career. For Your Career is a super, let's see. I don't think I have one. I think I've given them all away. It's a really short book, and it's about someone who's been in the industry, and he talks about how if you truly like build like a business, by the 4th year, it's a career and it pays you like a career. I found that to be true for myself. I'd say around year 3 for me was when I busted my butt and worked really hard and really focused. And by year 3, it paid me, as a career many times over my nursing salary. And so that just helped me kind of envision like, whoa, this can be way more than that was my goal and my vision. And then it quickly grew and grew and grew. And so this helped me see like, because if you would have told me at the beginning, like, hey, do you want to earn, $400,000 a year? I would have been like, oh yeah, right. Like nice pipe dream. So this helped me really see, and he has a podcast as well. One thing I love about his podcast is that he pulls in people from all different companies and he just asks them questions like, hey, how'd you get started? And that podcast, let me see if I wrote it down. Oh, I didn't. I want to say it's called, okay, bear with me. I'm going to find it real quick because I really like that podcast. The Authentic Networker podcast. And it's hosted by Richard Bliss Brooks. So he's the author of For Your Career. And if you go back, I don't know what he's doing lately. It seems like he's rebranding a little bit. But if you go back like a year and just kind of scroll through with the interviews that he has, some awesome ones with people he'll even ask them like, what did you say to get your first rep? How'd you word it? How did your sponsor talk to you about it? Like stuff that we're always wondering, especially as a new rep, you're like, well, what do you actually say? Like, how do you approach that conversation? He digs into that. And I really appreciated that. I really liked that. So then some other podcasts, if you're a podcast person, Your Virtual Upline, that's with Bob Heilig. I don't know if that's how you say his last name. But he's got some great ones. And sometimes they're even less than 21 minutes, which is my favorite because it's like, you just have 15 to listen. He gives really good tips. And then another one is Purposeful Social Selling. And that's with more of a focus on like how to show up online. But yeah, she's got some great stuff. It's actually my personal coach, Kristen Boss. So she's got some good stuff as well. So, and there are so many books and podcasts you could listen to. I didn't want to like give you a mile long list. So there's just a few, but there are plenty of others you can be looking into, but just really spending that 15 minutes on yourself, like, I just feel like it's the best way to start my day. I read my Bible and then I read 15 minutes of personal development. And I feel like I bring my best self in the morning. Like after that, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And I come out of there feeling like I can do anything. And that's what we want, because we truly can. Like, I know that sounds so cheesy and cliche, but truly when you put your mind to something, like, you will do it. So that is the whole purpose of that. So the next thing I want to talk just a little bit about, it's really easy to get distracted in business. And this, I mean, this goes for any business you start. Like, we have traditional, like our pest control business. It's easy to get focused on like the shiny gold object. Sarah and I were just talking about this today. Like, you'll look at the shiny gold object and be like, ooh, that's awesome. And usually those are really fun to listen and to pursue. It's easy to get caught up in like constantly like becoming better with personal development. But if you don't put any of this into action, you're never going to get the results. So just remember, like, this business really is truly simple. We talk to people. We talk to them about, I mean, we build relationships, and then we talk to them about our clothes and a business. That is truly all our business is, right? And when you break it down, that sounds like, oh, that is cake. The problem is staying consistent, because it's really easy to be like, okay, I'm just going to perfect this little piece. And then when I put it out, oh, it's going to be amazing. But until then, I have no action, right? Because I'm just too busy perfecting it. It's really easy to get distracted. And I know at the beginning, I'm like a pen to paper planner type girl. I had Post-its that would literally say like customer acquisition, customer or rep acquisition, because I wanted to build a team. I would have my focuses like, is this building my team or building my customer base? Like, that's what you need to focus on always. There's always, you know, like I did a training the other day for someone on Reels on Instagram. And one of the girls was like, I just can't wrap my head around this. And I'm like, that is okay. Like, don't wrap your head around it. This is for someone who's been in 4 years. I feel like I have everything, you know, systemized and systematic. I'm ready for that next step. So as you're looking at this, don't get so caught up in looking around that you're like, okay, I need to be really amazing at all of my pictures and Instagram Reels and Facebook Live. No, you do not. You need to talk to people so that you can gain a customer base. And if you want to grow a team, so that you can grow a team. That's literally all you do. But it is so much easier for me to say that. It's hard to stay focused just because all those little gold objects, I mean, they're shiny gold. They're really fun. They're great to look at. But just remember to focus on the basics. If you're starting to feel overwhelmed, take a step back. Okay, am I focusing on customer acquisition or team or rep acquisition? You know, that's really what it boils down to. And then knowing that this is a business, you are going to have lulls. I always do this, like there are peaks and valleys the whole way. And when you are in this valley, it feels really low and you feel like, oh my gosh, I suck at this. I'm never going to come out of this. But I always tell my team, you come straight out and you're going straight up. Like, that's just how it works. But knowing I didn't give myself an option. Well, actually my husband didn't give me an option. When I told him I wanted to be a rep, he's like, that's awesome. You're giving it 2 years. And I'm like, what? Like, that's a big commitment. He's like, no, treat it like a business. Like, if you want it, you're going to give it 2 years. If it was a brick and mortar store, you'd give it 2 years. And I'm like, okay. So I never gave myself the option of failing. And I failed many, many times. But I don't even view it as like a fail. Like my first hour live, like, could you guys even imagine? I mean, I came out of that like, whoa, I think that was really good. And then the next day I'm like, wait, that was really bad. Like, I think I had like 2 views on it. And it's probably because they saw 60 and they're like, not even, get out of here. But I learned from that. And it was okay. Like, then I learned, hey, let's do 3 minutes instead of 60. Just don't even view it as fails. You're learning what works. And nobody's watching you as closely as you're watching you. So I know sometimes it feels scary, like, I don't want to fail publicly. Like, oh, it's okay. Most people are not watching you that closely. So be okay with not doing awesome the first time. Just be okay with that. And don't give yourself the option of like failing. I mean, of true failing to me is when you get knocked down and you don't get back up. So just don't give yourself the option. Do 2 years, commit to 2 years. And I promise you, with consistency, you will make it. It truly is like the magic formula is consistency plus time. Like, that is what will make you successful. And so if you can come into this knowing like, hey, there's going to be times that like I haven't gotten a sale in. There was one point I went back and looked. where I had a 21-day lull between sales. Like I did not get a sale for 21 days and I was showing up consistently. I was doing all the right things. And I'm like, what the heck? And then those next 5 days, I sold as much as I did the previous month. So just to show you guys, like, and I know I gave this analogy to my team the other day. It's like a bag of popcorn, right? So that first minute and a half when it's in the microwave, it does nothing. It literally like it's on and you don't hear anything. And all of a sudden at the very end, it just like pop, 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 like it explodes. That's how I feel like the business is. Like you show up consistently every single day. You'll start questioning yourself like day 8, like, what am I doing? Nobody's seeing this. And then all of a sudden the magic comes, and it might not come for 30 days or 60 days or even 90 days. People are watching. I just had 2 girls that are getting ready to sign with me in the business that I never had any indication they were even interested at all. They never liked anything, commented. We've never had a discussion, nothing. And then all of a sudden, you know, they're interested a year later. They've both been watching for a year. That's really like the business in a nutshell. Show up every single day, just knowing like it's going to come with consistency. You will get the rewards, but it might not be in 7 days or in 14 days. It might be 30, it might be 60. But with that consistency, as you're showing up, people will know like, hey, Brittany's serious. Like she means this is a business. One of my best friends just purchased from me for the first time 4 years later. And she's like, well, I just figured after 4 years, you were serious. You really liked it. I'm like, yeah, you think? So I promise with that though, like truly, you cannot be consistent without success eventually. Like you just can't, you can't. So stick with it and just know you're going to have those lulls. It's okay. It's part of the business, part of the process. We had the same thing in our pest control businesses. You just write it out. And hopefully you have like a solid support at home. If you don't have that person to like lean on, I know my husband so often I'd be like, I suck at this. He's like, cool, welcome to owning a business. Like that's just part of the process. And you know what? Usually the next week was better. But if you don't have that support at home, make sure you use your sponsor. You know, she is or he is that support for you. That's what we're here for. That's what the team is for. Because we know exactly what you're going through because we've already been through it. You know, that's like firsthand, we've been through it. Okay, I think that is all the tips that I have for right now. So I'm going to open it up for a Q&A and I'm going to start to look through the chat. I see we have some comments. So if you have a question, don't be shy, just talk to me and we will talk it out. Let's see. We got some Canadians. That's fun. Okay, someone used the mock party for their first party, was so helpful. Good, I'm so glad. I am so glad. Okay, and then Sarah put in, yes, the business lunch document. So the new rep list, the checklist. Okay, so that is in our onboarding document. And I think it's located, if you're on my team in Team Rise, it's located in our announcements. And I believe Sarah's in Zaya Papaya is also located in her announcements. You're able to access that. Okay. Okay, how to lock in parties. So Tammy said, this is where she's struggling. She has no parties in May. Okay, so first and foremost, like that happens so often for me where I'm like 3 days before the month starts and I don't have any parties. So then what I encourage you to do, Tammy, is go back and look and see like, how many people have you talked to? So often I'll realize like, oh, well, I asked 2 people. So that's probably why. The first place I'll always go is my customers, you know, and I approach it. I'd be like, hey, Tammy, I know that you love your light and tights. I've seen you wearing them a couple of times. I am so glad they fit you so well. Are you interested in earning a free pair? Or, you know, I'll usually, okay, and here's what I do. I'll usually kind of create a little list for them. So like, hey, I'd love to host an event for you and help you earn some stuff. Here's some other items I think you'd love. And then I send pictures or links of things that like, you know, I think that Tammy would love. I know that she she's a CrossFitter and she wears sports bras. So I'm going to show her, the All-Star bra and our little crop bras that are so cute. Like, I might just send stuff that I feel like she would like based off of what she's purchased in the past. So when I feel like my funnel is dry though for parties, the first place I'll go is my past customers. The next place, if I'm brand new and I only have 2 customers and I talk to both of them and they're like, no, thanks. I did force a family member one time to have an event for me. I was like, listen, I have babysat your kids multiple times. You owe me. So we're going to host an event. And I'm not saying do that to everyone. If you are comfortable with them and they will love you no matter what, you can force a party on them. Otherwise, I will go to people that have attended. So anyone that was in my launch party, those were the first people I was like, hey, I want to help you earn. At that point, I think we have like 1 pair of light tights. I'm like, I want to help you earn these free black light tights that aren't see-through, like, would you be willing to host an event? And I always tell them, I promise it's not awkward. I'm super fun. And, just like a little disclaimer. I have been to a party before where it was like really weird. The lady hosting it, I won't even say the brand, but the lady hosting it, she would like play a game. And if you weren't participating or like commenting, she'd call you out. Brittany, I noticed you weren't, so I think that's why I always disclaim, like, I promise I'm like totally fun. We have a good time. And it's just a really quick way, for people to like be introduced to these leggings you love. Like, so, customers, party goers, anyone that's attended, maybe you've hosted one event for someone else. I talk to all of those people. When I present the party, I usually give them like 2 dates. Lately, I've been running my parties in 1 week, and that's because and actually I've done it in 1 huge party. So instead of like 4 separate parties, I'll do 1 big party. And so I just tell them like, hey, anytime between would April 17th to April 20th work? And they'll be like, no, that week I'm out of town. Okay, what about? And then I can give them another date. But I usually give them dates. It's easier for me to say like, would this date work versus, would May work for you? Like May I'm like, ooh, that's a big month. Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'll think about it later. But if you give me a date and I write it down, I'm a little more committed. So maybe that will help. Okay, let's see. Sarah, okay, can you explain more about the host rewards and how they work? I just joined last weekend. I had my VIP group from the party I did. I don't understand how the host rewards work though. I feel like none of my friends or family will want to do parties. Okay, so first of all, the host rewards are it's like a tiered incentive. So when they hit $200 and 3 orders, they get X amount of free items, like a credit. So it's almost just like a gift card and so many half off items. And they can build up to a $2,000 party and get, I think at that point, it's like $300 worth of free clothes and like 8 half off items. Like it's a ton of stuff. Like it's actually really hard to find. Like you've outfitted them for the year if they hit that one. So literally like the host incentives and rewards are just them earning free and discounted clothes, and it's half off clothes. So like our light and tights are going to be what, $30, like killer deal, like Target prices for way higher quality. So that's how the host rewards, as people order, it goes under this party. And as the party gets more orders, they earn more. So it's like an incentive for them to get their family, friends, whoever might be interested involved. And then, okay, I feel like none of my friends or family will want to do parties. So first of all, I'm just going to tell you that's a thought. I think last month we had like 500, no, how many did we have? I'm trying to think how many parties. I mean, we have hundreds, if not thousands of parties closed last month. So that means there were 500 to 1,000 people, and that's just in our team, that wanted to host a party. So though you might feel like, okay, like my friend, she definitely wouldn't want to host. That's not for you to judge. Like that's not your call. That's her call. So I always present it like, just give it to them and they do with it what they want. But that's not for you to decide. One of my very best, like I think she might be one of my first reps actually on my team. Her husband's a super successful doctor. And if I would have like prejudged and thought like, oh, she doesn't need the money, she is totally fine. She wasn't in it for the money. She was in it for community. And if I had prejudged and not offered that to her, you know, she would have missed out on that, and I would have missed out on one of my very best friends now. So always just try to remember, like, that's not for you to judge. You know, you give it the offer, you offer it, and then that's for them to decide if they want to host or not. I became a rep off my rewards. Oh, awesome. $200 in credits. Oh, that's a good one. You had a good party. That's great. Okay. Yes. So Sarah pointed out, oh, we closed 8,000 parties, you guys. Okay. So 8,000 people last month wanted to host parties, right? So you just never know. So, and that's not ever for us to judge. And that goes for people, the rep opportunity as well. That's not for you to judge if she needs a business. Not your decision. Your job is to offer it to everyone, and they can take it if they want. And like, I want to point out what Sarah said. What's great is your family and friends aren't going to be your target market forever. They open up new networks for you to introduce your products to. So yes, initially when you're starting, it's like your friends and family, you know, like I did my in-home event. I mean, I had my clothes draped on my kitchen table. Like I didn't have a clothing rack. It was fine. Like we had a blast. It was great. It was short and sweet. And then from there, like, you know, someone recommended, like she was a yoga instructor. So then her cousin started purchasing from me. Like you slowly expand your network, but at first it is like friends and family. And sometimes your friends and family will last you like a long time. I mean, you'll have purchasing. I had one girl that was like 6 months. Her friends and family kept her so busy. And then I had someone else that she's like, nobody will order, you know, like friends and family, nobody's ordering. So we had to get out quickly, right? Into like beyond that. Everyone starts with their warm market though. That's totally normal. We're not going to stay with our warm market though. We want to branch out, and that's what we do parties for. So, okay. Does anyone have any questions? I think I got through all of the chat questions. Like I said, don't be shy. There's no such thing as dumb questions. I promise you, we have heard them all and had them all. So we are not judging. We are here to help. So if you have any, lay them on us. We've got a good crowd tonight. I like this. All right. Okay, well, I don't think there's any questions. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. I hope you have a really good launch event. If you haven't already, it's going to be awesome. Ask your sponsor for help. I know I always pop into my new reps to just showcase some different clothing items, and we are here to help you. So I hope you feel that in our team, that we want you to succeed. You know, as much as we want ourselves to succeed, for sure, we want our team. Like that is, nothing fills my cup like everybody else succeeding, especially new reps. That is the best. Our goal is for you to earn back your kit investment in the first 30 days. So let us know if we can help you do that in any way. And otherwise, we will talk to you later. Bye, guys.